Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Oh, it's such a chilly day. It would be nice if we had some apple pie. Come, I'll teach you how to make some. In order to make an apple pie, we will need to complete these 5 main steps. Let's begin with step 1, making the dough. We'll start with 3 cups of flour, then add a bit of sugar, and then add a bit of salt. After that, pour 1 cup of milk into a measuring cup. And then mix with a 1/4 cup of oil. And then mix it up well. Mix up the oil well. After mixing the oil and milk together, slowly pour the mixture into the flour to create the dough. Make sure to mix with a fork. This will prevent us from overworking the dough, which will help make the pie crust flaky. We should end up with a dough that looks a little bit dry, but don't worry, it will be okay. Afterwards, wrap your dough into a saran wrap and then put it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Okay, now we're done with part 1, making the dough. Now let's continue to part 2, prepping the apples. Okay, on the left, we have Assistant Baker Lydia, and on the right, we have Assistant Baker Alyssa. We'll begin by first peeling the apples. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, so now that we peeled all these apples, time to cut them. So what I like to do is I like to cut them into nice rectangles. These rectangular slices for the apples will help the apple pie become nice and soft on the inside. Here we have my 2 assistants helping with the apple slices. It is very important not to cut your hands. Be careful. Oh, and make sure to gather up all your apples into a bowl. After slicing your apples, crush 1 cup of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yes, the cereal. Then add the crushed Cinnamon Toast Crunch to your apples. And then add a raw egg as well. The egg will allow the crushed Cinnamon Toast Crunch to stick to the apples more easily. Mix everything together now. Alright everybody, once we're done prepping the apples, we move to step 3, rolling the dough. Take your dough from the refrigerator and separate it into 2 pieces. Make sure to put flour under wherever you're rolling the dough, so then it won't be as sticky. My assistants will now help me roll the dough. Notice how they are rolling the dough from top to bottom, left to right, in order to make a circular formation. Please give a round of applause for all the hard work that my assistants have done today. Now that we're done rolling the dough, let's move on to part 4, assembling the pie. First, let's move the dough onto the pan. We can do this by rolling the dough onto the pin and then transferring it that way, as shown. Afterwards, make sure the dough fits nice and snug inside the pan. Then we can pour the prepped apples into the pan. Make sure all the apples are tight and compact inside the pan. Once you've finished compressing the apples, put the top piece on to complete the pie. Remove the excess dough from the edges of the pie. You can use the excess dough to make a rose in the very middle. After you're done, put your pie into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. This will help ensure that your pie is nice and flaky. Now it's time for step 5, baking the pie. Take your pie out of the refrigerator and put holes around the top crust. This will help ensure that the apples are fully cooked. Then brush the top with some egg yolk. This will help the top of the pie have a nice golden look to it. After you're done, put the pie in the oven. Bake the pie at 425 degrees for 20 minutes and then at 375 degrees for an additional 30 minutes, with a total of 50 minutes altogether. When the pie is done, take it out and let it cool for a bit. Now it's time for step 6. Eat the pie and enjoy. Scrumptious. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoy your pie.